the band farming strategy that grew crops in any weather. Now, before we get into the deeper layers of this old-world technique, just take 10 seconds to settle in, hit that subscribe button for more Warfield Prepper Chronicles content, and let's get straight to the method governments tried hard to suppress. How ancient farmers used underground grow chambers to control weather before technology existed. Across several early civilizations, farmers used partially buried grow chambers to maintain stable temperatures year-round. These were not greenhouses and not root cellars. They were controlled microclimates built by digging insulated pits lined with stone or timber, topped with angled thatch or clay roofing. Because temperatures below the frost line stay steady, the crops inside stayed protected from heat waves, frost, wind, and drought. This stability allowed farmers to grow cool-season crops in summer and frost-sensitive plants through winter. Archaeological records from northern Europe and Central Asia show these pit fields were used alongside regular fields to guarantee food during unpredictable seasons. Modern preppers can apply this same principle by building a small, partially submerged cold-frame structure. A waist-deep pit with stone walls and a slanted transparent cover creates a natural thermal buffer. In regions with harsh dry seasons or extreme cold, this allows year-round greens, herbs and root crops without relying on powered systems. How controlled layering of soil, ash and manure generated natural heat inside these chambers. Many of these underground systems relied on what was essentially early geothermal composting. Farmers layered soil, straw, manure and ash under the growing beds. As the organic material broke down, it produced a steady release of heat. Unlike open compost piles, this heat stayed contained in the chamber, raising soil temperature enough to keep crops alive through freezing nights. This method was banned in some regions during the 1700s because authorities believed it allowed peasants to bypass state-controlled grain cycles and taxation, especially during wartime shortages. You can replicate this by creating a shallow compost underlay in a raised bed inside your pit frame. A mixture, about 15 to 20 centimeters deep, of fresh manure and straw beneath the soil generates long-lasting warmth. Small-scale preppers use this today to keep carrots, cabbage, beets, and winter greens producing even in cold snaps. How water jars and buried stone channels maintained humidity and prevented crop loss during drought. Another piece of this system involved moisture regulation using buried stone channels and clay jars. Farmers filled jars with water and buried them near plant roots. The porous walls slowly released moisture directly into the soil, eliminating evaporation loss. Stone-lined channels diverted condensation back into the beds. These methods created stable humidity even in wind-blasted dry seasons. Texts from early Slavic and Central Asian communities mention these as weatherproof beds. Anyone gardening today can use clay ollars or porous terracotta pots buried up to the neck for precise, slow irrigation. In sandy, dry regions or areas with unpredictable water, this method drastically reduces water waste while boosting yield. How combining insulation, heat generation, and slow irrigation created truly all-weather farming. The strength of the system was in combining earth insulation, controlled heat from decomposition, and reliable subsurface irrigation. Together, they produce stable microclimates long before modern climate control existed. Farmers who used these systems reliably survived blights, cold spells, and state-imposed grain restrictions. Preppers today can scale the design from a 1 square-metre pit for herbs to a full-size trench greenhouse capable of feeding a family through winter. If you found this valuable and want more deep history survival methods backed by real evidence, subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles and share this guide with fellow enthusiasts.